Joining us now is former Director General, Nigerian Tourism Development Corporation and convener, Destination Tourism Night 2019, Omotayo Omotosho. Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Morning, Theophila.
Now, like we have rightly pointed out, the entertainment industry has grown in leaps and bounds because you see Nigerian entertainers across the world being recognized. But then the potential as a country, it doesn't seem to be having as much impact on the economy. Why is that?
Well, the answer is simple. We have very talented performers in the entertainment industry, no doubt. And not just talented, committed. We have the likes of Bolali Austin Peters,
absolutely,
very proficient, very articulate producer. We have Joke Silva. We have our actors and actresses. But you need to ask Bolali how much it cost her to be able to curate a particular production. You need to ask Ego Boyo. You need to ask Joke Silva. It costs a lot of money. I'm happy that the government of the day has seen a reason to assist this industry, especially the entertainment industry, in relation to provision of funds, of grants, of loans, which we call soft loans, through the Bank of Industry. I'm sure you know that they have this fund for the creative.
About 50 million recently. 50 billion. Right?
Billion, not million. Yeah, you're right. So I'm happy that's
But is that in itself enough?
It's not. It's not. But we must say it's there. It's not. And it's not just having it not being enough, but even to be able to access it. Because a lot of them, we're in the same industry. They tell me that, oh, it's a tall order. It's a tall order because there are basic what do you call it, necessities that they need to, provision that they need to comply with. They don't mind complying with that. But they want a situation where the way it's done in the developed economies, we get to that level.
That's about creating an enabling environment here.
Creating the enabling environment, making the loans interest-free.
Okay.
Completely interest-free, not soft loans that they've got to pay back. Because if you make it interest-free and you monitor what they are doing, we have responsible actors, actresses, stage performance in Nigeria that are committed to the sector, and they know that they want to generate employment for the generality of Nigerian youths. It is a commitment, it is a passion. But until we make it interest-free and we make it a way that everybody is empowered to be able to not just access this grant, but to also be able to make the best use of it by creating the enabling environment you made mention earlier on, we wouldn't be going anywhere. That is very important. That's very key.
So how are stakeholders like yourself engaging the government to make sure that these loans are perhaps interest-free, like you have rightly mentioned, and make that create that enabling environment for people to thrive?
Well, you're right. That's why Destination Tourism Night is coming to be. That's why we're lucky to have a governor like Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu, who has made entertainment and tourism a key focus area of priority. The themes that he talks about, THEMES, the E before the S is entertainment and tourism. If you have a governor of a state like Lagos driving such, and we have other state governors doing the same, I bet you we will get to where we need to get to.
The state government has a role to play.
They have a lot of role to play.
We have to leave it at this point. Omotayo Omotosho, thank you so much for coming.
You're welcome.
Joining us now is former Director General, Nigerian Tourism Development Corporation and convener, Destination Tourism Night 2019, Omotayo Omotosho, also known as Mama Tourism, right?
Good to see you, my dear.
Good to see you, Mom.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank
now,
you.
quickly, before we go into the details of the event, put to proper perspective, seeing that you have been championing the cause of tourism, what tourism is really about. What is it really about?
Well, tourism is not just about the tourist sites. So it's a good question. Yeah, it's a good question you're asking me. A lot of people feel it has to do with tourist sites. You talk about tourism, they're thinking of Obudu Tourist Ranch, which it is, but it's not just that. They're talking of Olumo Rock, which it is, but it's beyond that. They're talking of Yankari National
Game
Park.
reserve,
Exactly.
Point of no return.
Exactly, Badagry Slave Route. Tourism is all about movement of people to something that draws attraction. Tourism is about narratives. Tourism is about our rich cultural heritage.
But we have all of this. What's happening to ours? Is it that we are not properly putting it together such that it can attract people and generate revenue that we need?
Well, I must say that the problem we have is lack of continuity.
Oh.
Before now, Vero, even before I got to the podium here, we were talking backstage, and other people that were discussing with me did say that, and it's very, very true, that there must be continuity of good policies. Of good policies. I recall while I was in tourism, I became tourism DG almost 20 years ago. I didn't even know it's almost 20. But it occurred to me that that was 2000. And when we got there, we realized we had a lot of work to do. NTDC, some people never knew what it stood for. Tourism wasn't so well talked about. We were coming from what we call a pariah state as a nation, if you remember.
Yeah.
Military administration just finished.
Yeah.
Civilian came through with Baba Obasanjo as president. But what we did was to say, how do we promote tourism deliberately?
There has to be deliberate.
It is a deliberate action. Tourist sites, tourism promotion, attractions have to do with a careful, deliberate, consistent planning and action. So what we did, yeah, synergy. Synergy is lacking. What we did and made people talk about tourism at that time was the fact that we embraced the private sector. Tourism is not just about government.
Okay, so
government cannot do tourism all by itself.
All by itself.
Yeah.
But in having this event now, how will this put a spotlight on the tourism industry in Nigeria and promote it?
Thank you very much. This event was necessitated and came about by virtue of some young tourism practitioners in the industry. Those of us that done tourism, starting with some 20 years ago, Governor Donald Duke did so well in Cross River, and at that time people started calling him Mr. Tourism, even till today. I saw a reason to talk to him. And when I went to talk to him, he said, but do you know, Tayo, it's a passion for me. And I'm not happy that we have not gotten there. So he said, whatever you want to do, whatever the youngsters want to do, he's there to support them. I went to the institute. We have Institute of Tourism Professionals. I went to talk to the president. So I got the buy-in of those that could join me to promote the sector. And the institute said, yes, we'll support it. And why did I go to these two people representing, we'll support it? And why did I go to these two people representing a cross-section of Nigerians? It's because 3 Nigerians, Ayo, Nike, Dan, youngsters in the industry, have shown a lot of interest in the sector. And they came to me to say, Madam Tourism, we want you to help us birth this idea. We have an idea, we have a project, we cannot pull it through because we're young. I said, I wouldn't do it alone. I have those colleagues of mine that would do this with us. And so we're on board together. And to go back to your question, what do we want to do? Their own project has to do with, let's have a good blend of our rich cultural heritage, our tourism endowments from the 6 geopolitical zones. Let's show Nigerians, let's show the diplomatic corps, let's show the international community that Nigeria has good stories to tell. It's not about insurgencies, Boko Haram, killing people. We are much more than that.
Telling our stories through our own eyes.
Through the narratives of our own mouths.
Yes, Omotayo Omotosho, we have to leave it at this point.
That's all right.
Thank you for
I
your
have
time.
a lot to say, but time is not on our side.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.